day of power. Teaching every one of you guys. If this is your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. Teaching every one of you guys. First of all, salutation to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in the Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajay. Teaching every one of you guys that have supported and continue to support our platform, my website, anything that has to do with this live stream. A lot of times that people come on this live stream, they don't understand that my intention and my focus is for melanated people, and also especially for Black American people. To each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for being a part of our platform and acknowledging the things that are going on in this present world in these United States. I also want to talk to each and every one of you guys that give me the opportunity to share knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with you as well. When it comes down to real magic, real conjure, real mysticism, I've been doing magic since I was a child, 3 to 4 years of age. I am 52 years of age, and I have been doing conjure. I've been doing different initiated conjure. I have worked with clientele from a child. I have dealt with heavy situation when it comes down to the government. I've also had the opportunity of being able to be on the forefront of things that happen in our society. I am 52 years of age, and I'm still trying to educate melanated people and Black people when it comes down to real magic. If you're not initiated into various traditions, but one thing I do on this platform, I teach universal laws. Universal laws means this, that universal laws apply and are applicable to each and every person, whether initiated, non-initiated. Universal laws also influence every aspect of life. And when people get the opportunity, what's up, Kanisha? Thank you for joining us on today. Especially when people really have issues. Now, this particular live is for grown people. Not grown as an age, but grown as in maturity. Because I do real conjure and real mysticism and real Black arts, I have an obligation, a personal obligation, to be truthful, to be insightful, and to be informative, that grown people can make educated decisions. And the reason why this is important is because in order to make calculated decisions, you got to have the absolute truth. You cannot have a watered down version of the truth. You cannot also have a sugar coated type of truth. One of the things that I try to tell people, that I'm a Sagittarius, my moon is Aries, and my rising sign is Pisces. Everybody is not willing, everybody is not interested in hearing the truth, applying the truth, and abiding in the truth. What's up, my Ryan? My Cardinal Air is in the house, Libra. To each and every one of y'all, this live has a lot in its surrounding. I did a lot of ceremonial work today around lynching and just how the system is set up against melanated people. And I am an active force against anything that is against my melanin and my way of life and my way of living. And I think that a lot of times when you have people trying to share information, they don't consider the facts that are around every individual. Everybody is not going to, as they say, 10 toes down. Everybody ain't like that. You're going to have some people 20%, some people 40%, some people 10%, some people 50%. Very seldom you're going to have somebody 100. Because there's a lot of commitment to be 100 in something. I'm just here to tell you. And it is a lonely walk when you do decide to up your percentages when it comes down to what is going on. Um, a lot of things are not rational that I hear people talk about because you have never put yourself in a position to be in opposition to the system. You complain about the system. You complain about systemic racism, but you yourself have never allowed your energy, your ache, your chi, your prana to actually be in opposition of it. I have. What's up there, my Demetrius Gemini in the house? What's up, Sister Tree and Aries? Now, I'm going to give some unvarnished truth. I'm going to give some unpolished truth. I'm going to say some things that will propel you into your victory, into your healing, into your salvation, if you digest it. One of the things that I found out, and I constantly deal with, when you're choosing to tell yourself lies, and at the time of your life you don't consider them as lies. Let's be right there. You don't consider those as lies. You feel like they're true based off of what you're dealing with in your circumstances. The reason why they're lies, anything outside of universal law, it can be considered a lie. Because your perception of a set of facts or information may lead you left or right or stand still. But when the truth, you're abiding in the truth, you create the reality that you desire. No one can hinder you from fulfilling your destiny. There are going to be distractions. There are going to be things that take place in your life that may deter you, may even cause you to stumble. But this is a mind thing. When it says all is mine, on my day of power, I've been going so much I didn't even know it was my day of power, to be honest with you. And I've been watching what's up, my Virgo, Savannah in the house. I've been watching people. I've been listening to people. So I'm going to come from this aspect. My subject tonight on my day of power is casting down imaginations and the images that they represent, the image that represent the energy. Lynching. What's up, Mama Susan? To each and every one of y'all. You have lived a lot of your life at the thoughts and the opinions of others. Whether it's white supremacy, whether it's your mom, your dad, these people determine to you your value. These people determine that based on how they perceive you, you were a good person, a bad person, a stingy person, a talkative person, or you talk too much. A lot of who you are right now is not what God created you to be. A lot of how you handle everyday life is not even your ideas, it was what you were taught. And many of you have never questioned what you were taught, neither did you question why you were taught those things. And there's things that our parents or people can teach you based on the conditions of the living environment that are necessary to survive through that situation or that condition, but that is not a way of living, a way of life. A lot of times, there are people that have taught you how to survive in suffering, but never taught you how to come out of suffering. and obtain healing and walk in glory. There are people that taught you that anything outside of Christianity is demonic. And no matter how much you see what God can do through ancestors, Loas and Kisi and Pungo, you still are deeply rooted in those ideas, those mindsets, and those imaginations. No matter how much you benefit off of what I practice, does not mean that you believe in what I practice. Your imaginations are still real. The images that you hold dear in your mind is still carrying that energy, that frequency, and that vibration. When I see melanated people or black people that walk in my sanctuary, my church, my ministry, and they feel uncomfortable, they feel uncomfortable because the deities or the gods and goddesses that are on the wall are black. I'm going to say this again. When you are uncomfortable hearing real black issues that make you uncomfortable because you do not prescribe to blackness, you prescribe to whiteness. I need y'all to hear me today. In order to cast something down, you have to see that it's something wrong with the way you think. And when you don't think anything is wrong with the way you think, you're not going to cast it down. It doesn't mean that people and melanated people don't have the power to cast down thoughts and imaginations, the mindset. But the problem is you don't see anything wrong with the way you think, the way that you administer your thought. You don't know why you have a problem with me. I know how you, because your image of men are not pleasant. Your mindset when it comes to a man is he's trying to get something out of me. He's trying to use me. Because the mantra is that there's no good black men. And so when you see a black man or you see Shango or you see Ogun, you still don't feel safe. You can have a black man with a machete in his hand coming to rescue you, but because your image and your imagination about black men is not salvation, you're going to see him as a threat. I'm talking about a black one. It was very important that they kept our bodies strong so we can work, but they made our minds very weak. And this is something on my day of power that a lot of black people don't like to hear this, but it is very true. Black people are weak-minded. I'm going to say it again. Black people are weak-minded. You can be in a relationship with somebody for 15 years and they have always been there for you. And a person that you don't even know can come by you and have a conversation with you about the same person that had been with you for 15 years and distort their image and their reasoning. And you begin to dissolve or injure or fracture your relationship from a stranger that had never did anything for you. You're struggling with your own salvation because it's hard for you to perceive in your mind. Just like R. Kelly said, if I can see it, mind's eye, then I can do it. You don't believe you can survive outside of the white man. You don't believe that you are the God. You will say that. You will say that the ancestors. Let me explain to you. When you find out that Jim Jones was a white man that had black people drinking poison, and he was sodomizing the men and the women, and you still think your ancestors are not easily influenced. When you let somebody, let me tell y'all something about Chief Apostle Samuel Levine. What's up, my baby Scorpio? The difference between a strong-minded individual and you have to build there is this. I would never play the games. I would never play the system. I will never allow somebody to pull me out of my element. One thing that, I learned a lot of things, but one of the things that I learned when I was playing tennis and being coached to play tennis on a professional level is that it's my job to control the pace. Whoever is controlling the pace of the game determines whether you use a forehand, whether you use a backhand, whether you volley the ball, because they're in control of the pace. White people, Caucasian people, non-melanated people are always setting the pace for black people when it comes to the economy, when it comes to our education, our intellect, our relationships. We allow them to set the pace. We allow, and we get frustrated when they change or move the goalposts. There's an old saying when it comes to gambling: the house always wins. I'm not gonna play you on your own turf. I'm not gonna play you by your rules and your regulations. This is why I operate with universal laws. Because when laws are implemented by man that is contrary to nature and what God has planned for me, then I have no problem at casting that down. When somebody all they got to do is tell you your man is gay. Your man don't love you. Do you realize how traumatizing the images that they wanted husbands and wives and children to see in family structure? Let me paint a picture to you. Energy follows thought, and images carry energy. And I want you to imagine what a black woman in those days was going through when she had to sit there or stand there in front of her husband, in front of their children, and watch a white man fuck him. We ain't on TikTok. Yes, sodomize means that he was having anal sex with her husband, with her love, with their father. He did not pull the slave off and have sex with him. He wanted a image seared in her consciousness, in her mind, that she could. It was when they beat a slave. Come on here, somebody. They beat the slaves in front of other slaves. When a person tried to escape and got caught, they did not do or mutilate them in where they caught them. They brought them back in front of the other slave, because subconsciously you have to see how barbaric that we can be, how savage we can be. They castrated men, cut the dicks off of grown men in front of white children. And now they worried about what their children have saw and what their children are seeing in movies. This is the bullshit that black people adhere to. When you don't care that a police officer, a grown-ass white police officer, can sling a child in a bathing suit. And y'all talking about magic? I'm talking about images. This is why y'all black Americans don't believe that we have power. Because of images. When you see a grown white man slinging a baby in her bathing suit all around like she's a grown-ass man, and they do it right in front of other children, it's for a reason and for a purpose. This is why when our God manifests his power or her power in the open, it is an open display that we are not to be fucked with. See, I'm going to revamp you with what is a chosen vessel and a peculiar people, a anointed priesthood. Because if your magic ain't making shit happen in the open, it ain't no good for nobody. It ain't even no good for you. And when you can display the power of your ancestor and your God on an open display, like Elijah was able to do with the prophets of Baal, that shit ain't good for nobody. If your prayers in the closet cannot manifest in the open, it ain't no good for us. I'm not here to teach that kind of magic, that kind of conjure. I don't care if it's a judge, I don't care if it's a senator, I don't give a goddamn if it's the president of the United States of this fucking cake. We have to be in a position that when we set out to cast down these imaginations, when we set out to cast down these images, this is why my main goal with Ryan, because he's an air sign at the time, to not minimize his opportunity for prosperity based on his charges. Because we got a felon, 34 count felon. Let me tell y'all something. This is when you know it's some bullshit. When you can be a convicted felon and seize the presidency of the United States of America. There were so many people disheartened. And only reason why they were disheartened and shocked is because they believed in the image and the likeness of America. When America is a racist as a corporation, not the land. America is a corporation, an entity, a fictitious entity that seized power through white supremacy and white dominance and white rape and white robbery and theft. When you believe in an image, you weaken the images that God gave you through your ancestors. One of the things, I was at my job and the conversation was coming up by one of my white co-workers. And he was asking me some questions. He first asked me, did I know what was Adam's first wife? And I told him Lilith. He was shocked at that. And he began to ask me some questions. I said, do you want me to be honest with you? He was like, yeah. I said, I was never raised to look up to white people. So I don't have those feelings and images in my head that these other black boys may have or black men may have. I said, if you want to be 100% honest with you, I was actually raised to look down on white people. That's how I was really raised. And you should have seen the gasp or the shock. No, I don't think I'm better because I'm with a white person. I don't think I have arrived because white people accept me. This is why I never had to put on any faces or air to even be in the company of white people, even racist people. They bless me too. I've never had not to have my own views, my own opinion, my own ideas, and my own personality in order to coexist with other people of different beliefs of the culture. The reason why you refuse, because you don't see yourself as a giant. You see, because if you believed in universal laws, you would not be saying Donald Trump gonna get away with anything. I don't believe that this white society as a whole is gonna get away with anything. I believe that when black people really understand their image and their likeness, and once they start casting down these images that they think that white people have power to keep them from having. I am prospering off of black dollars. I am prospering off of black support. So to say that black people can't do anything together, and that's whether they believe in everything I say, some of the things I say, or none of the things. There's people that bless me that don't believe in any of this. They believe in my character. When it comes to a Zelle or PayPal, I don't give a damn what you believe in, as long as you make it pop. At the end of the day, I'm trying to get you to understand that a lot of your hindrance to the things that you profess out your mouth has a lot to do with the type of imagination that you already have. That you have certain images about yourself that I don't have. When I say I'm a Sagittarius, I'm talking about in the full effect of a Sagittarius. When I say my moon is in Aries, I act like I was talking and I was chiming on Sister Calvina. She's a fellow initiate of mine. We had the same godmother and godfather. And Calvina is a child of Oya, and she's also a child of Cynthia, which is my mother in Ocha and my mother in Palo. And the bullshit she had on her Facebook post, and I had a saints liking the shit. That's why I tell you, when you do stuff out in public, I'm going to handle it in public. I said nothing about what you said. I said, how you going to protect yourself if you not trying to harm nobody? How you going to prosper if you, when it talks about there's a wealth of the wicked and there's a wealth of the just. How you ain't going to inflict harm on people that are inflicting harm on you? I said, make that shit make sense. You a child of Oya. What about a tornado that don't bring harm? If you, Cynthia is the Lady Death. She rules over all poisonous insects and plants on planet Earth. What about her name depicts that it brings no harm? Because I know that whatsoever will kill you can also heal you. See, when you kind of practice the black ATR, but you whitified, when you're trying to be appeasing to other cultures that are intimidated by the power of melanin and energy, frequency, and vibration, and African sciences, because they don't have access. Let me explain something, you black people. You never fight a white man or a white woman with their tactics. If you want to have the advantage, you got to be like Freddy fucking Krueger. If you want to beat Jason, you got to bring Jason in your world. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with y'all. You are never going to beat them with their own game without bringing them into your environment where you have the advantage. They can lie all they want. They can connive all they want. If you are operating in the spirit, Freddy Krueger on the movie understood that people were fearing Jason other than him. Come on here. Why you think white men go out their way to make sure you don't desire black men, and that black men cannot provide because they're doing all kind of shit to keep him from being able to do what he can naturally do? And naturally intelligent, naturally gifted, naturally skillful. And you buy into that shit. Freddy Krueger had enough sense to know that he had to get Jason. First of all, I can't have people more afraid of you than afraid of me. Because that's where I get my power from. And if they ain't scared to go to sleep, I don't have no fucking power. See, we give a lot of shit power that don't have power. And without us feeding our energy to it out of our own imaginations and our own images, it wouldn't have the power to live because it's parasitic in nature. So, eventually in the movie, Freddy Krueger gets Jason to go to sleep. And when Jason falls asleep, his machete, Freddy Krueger will whoop his motherfucking ass. See, when you get white people in the spirit world, where we actually rule and super rule, when you bring them over to the ether, when you bring them over to dark matter, when you bring them over to conjure, the ship changes automatically. What they think, what they believe has no effect here. It's almost like when the professor was trying to control Jean Grey on the X-Men, and she had the Phoenix on the inside of her. She said, them weak tricks don't work here. The mind games, everybody, your psychic power have no power here. Because I'm incarnate fire. I'm the immutable fire of Sagittarius. Them fuck games, the mind games don't work here. I see right through that shit. Those illusions that ensnare other people, they don't work here. Those mind tricks and mind fucks, they don't work here. They're impotent. That's how you begin to cast down imagination and cast those things that hinder you from seeing the real reality of what God has for you. Why black people? The lynching. All of those are rituals. The reason why white people don't want you embracing your magic, because your magic is stronger than their magic. But if they make you afraid of your images, your likeness, and anything pertaining to you, then they have the upper hand. I have whipped a lot of black people, especially in the church, because they were practicing the ATRs in secret. And they were telling people all they were doing is praying. But the way I work, I'll make you come out your bag. I'll destroy you while you in your bag. Let me say this again. See, when you are hiding your ATRs, your actual practices, the things that really move mountains in your life, that really afford you proper protection, you can't do that because you making like the only oil that you work with is olive oil. Pastor over there with rose geranium. Pastor Ely over there with hyssop. Pastor Ely is over there with rue and all these other. See, I operate in my authentic energy, frequency, and vibration. When I need to go to war, my neighbors can see me get down. I don't give a fuck. Their children can see me out there casting spells, conjure. I don't really care. I do what is in the confinements of my property. You understand? I had a neighbor tell me one time I had a fire pit in the back on my porch. And I was burning chili peppers. And the other neighbor came over and said, you know, it just, when you burning that stuff, he know what it was. He said, that stuff, you know, it's burning in my dog. And could you stop burning that? Do you think I stopped burning? I don't give a fuck. When I'm trying to get something done, it's like when America go to war, do they give a fuck where they drop a bomb at? No. Anybody in real warfare, naturally or spiritually, do you care about where you drop a bomb on a bitch? For you to have the mentality that there's not going to be any casualty to your warfare or your conjure. I was talking to one of my clients, and she was saying that she used to think about not just get me out of the situation or just get me out of. And then she said, no, I had to go through them motherfuckers. She didn't say it like I'm saying it. She said them motherfuckers. She didn't say it like that because I'm adding to her word, but I'm gonna give you the jit. She said them motherfuckers need to go through just like I had to go through. When you let people off the hook, that means there's no consequences for their action. When white people start getting slapped the shit out of them for their mentality, when they start, let me tell you something, and I put this on my Facebook page. Facebook trying to regulate me. I've been talking all kind of shit. Let me tell you, since I'm on my YouTube channel, and I want to be very clear. You can run this thing if you want to. If you unalive one of my melanated children or family members, there's gonna be so many snowflakes for Christmas. I say it's gonna be a Christmas in this bitch. Cause wherever I will have white hanging down from rooftops. I'll show you what it means to operate in the power of the Orishas and the Loas and Nkisi. To see what y'all don't understand in the Haitian Revolution, that yes, they practiced voodoo, but they wasn't sitting there on their ass lighting a candle and doing ceremonies and eating hot peppers only. No, they were going out there with the strength of those celestial beings, because they are fifth dimensional spirits, Loas. And they were slaughtering those Anglo-Saxons. See, the reason why we do High John the Conqueror is to outwit the motherfuckers. Having the wisdom, the Ache, the Chi, the Prana, the intellect, certain man, to beat them, but not on their term, not on their ground, not in their element. Because our element is not parasitic, it is alkaline. This is what you learn about magic when you really understand your Ache, your Chi, your Prana. Let me explain something to y'all. Some of you guys really believe you have the luxury, and I'm talking to black American people. You think you have the luxury of listening at other people. They'll tell you that the Orishas have dual nature, duality. They'll tell you the Apollo spirits have dual nature. They'll tell you fire has dual nature. They'll tell you water has dual nature. But they don't want you walking in that. Because at that point, when you walk in your darkness, they lose control. They lose influence. Your frequencies start going up. I was talking to my padrino today. First, I was going to receive Anna, the daughter of Shango, on the 28th. Then he tried to get me to do one on 7th. I said, but you told me either the 28th or the October the 2nd. I said, you can't get it done October. See, I understand how people are trying to maneuver me. So he said, Godson, I'll call you back. So when they called me back, he said, okay, we'll do it in Tampa on the October 22nd. I mean, on the 2nd of October. He said, because I don't have, if I go to Miami on the 28th, I don't know where to get the animals from. I don't know where I'm going to get the stuff that I need to do your ceremony, because that's not my turf. Even my 30-year-old Padrino knew that it was not wise to operate on the turf that he did not have assets in favoring. But he would ask me to come to Tampa where I don't have the plugins. But that's why I get all my shit before I even go. See, some of y'all, if you got to fight on your enemy's territory, you should have everything you need from your own territory, from your own element to wage war. Have your own water, have your own food, have your own vitamins, have your own way of life, have your own prayer, have your own meditation circle. You trying to beat people at shit they taught you. And who gonna teach a slave a God that gonna set them free? Nobody. I'm gonna play Keith Sweat. Nobody. Nobody. It's utterly retarded. It's utterly fucking stupid for you to think that they will give you a religion that will give you the power to set yourself free. Haiti fucked them Anglo-Saxons up. Just like Geronimo. Them Native Americans were fucking them Anglo-Saxons up. What happened was, like always, black people sell other black people out. It was not Christopher Columbus and the Spanish Inquisition that defeated the Native American people, which were black people. It was other black people that used Haitian voodoo. Because at some point, once you get free, and they talking about, oh, no. Because I do spiritual work. And when I'm free, I set other people free. If you were helping black American people, there would be no such thing as a trail of tears. There had to be an alliance somewhere, somehow. See, I don't let people tell me a bunch of shit. See, you're not going to beat my mama. And I'm going to worry about getting a charge or getting killed. It is what it is at that point. See, unless your mindset is like that, they ain't worried about your ass. I done heard, let me tell you something, I'm not trying to rag on me, but I done heard some women saying that they rather die in what they believe in because they are disgusted how pansy, how cowardly a lot of these black men, even the ones got platforms. You want to tell me that you have this power, that you're not going to use it to defend you and yours? What kind of mindset do you have? Just like my grandmother told me, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm going to have some cat's pussy. I'm going to skin that cat one way or the other. That's why I'm smart. That's why I believe in strategy. Because if I can't get you from above, I'm going to get you from beneath. If I can't get you from beneath, I'm going to get you through these little things called insects. Or I'm going to fuck you up one way or the other. If I can get you on the astral level, I'm going to get you on the spiritual level. If I can get you, I'm going to knock your ass out. And we're going to fight physically. But something's going to be done. And for many of you guys that are out here and And this is not for me to add on to the hurt, the pain, and the suffering of the families that lost these young men. But it's gonna happen because you believe in the bullshit. You believe that my son or my daughter lives in this particular neighborhood, that they will not be affected by the mindset or the images of white supremacy. That's a fool. You believe if you talk like them, if you are less threatening, that they're going to respect what you believe and stand for. They don't give a fuck what you believe in and stand for. They don't even care if you more educated than them. Let me tell y'all something. I love me some Miss Maxine Waters and some Jasmine Crockett. Let me tell you why. No matter how much those black women, because they're dark skinned, I ain't talking. There's other leaders in the Democratic Party. I'm talking about they are dark skinned women, and there's another. That's the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James. I love dark skinned women because they have an understanding of mindset. They already know it don't matter how qualified I am over you. You have a problem with me speaking up. I know your... See, when you know somebody's mentality, you know what they got a problem with. I know when I'm not saying anything wrong to a woman, but when she got a problem with men, it didn't matter how I said it, she's going to have a problem. When somebody is a white supremacist and they hold those ideas, it don't matter what you do, it's gonna be a problem. LeBron was called a nigger, and he could have bought all the trailer parks because it's an idea. This is why you cast it down. But when you believe in those ideas, you're not gonna cast it down. Let me tell you how crooked crackers are. Jasmine Crockett was such a threat that they redistricted her area. And she called, but this is my problem with those in Congress and in the government. You can't beat them with their own system. You need to operate in your element. Your natural intellect is not going to prevail. The wisdom of man is not stronger than the wisdom of God. You're going to need some good rule workers. That Jasmine Crockett need to get her a good swamp witch, a good swamp conjure woman that don't mind messing with snakes and putting them motherfuckers in the skin of snakes and rattlesnakes and driving stakes to their heart and working with monkey brains. Scramble them bitches' brains. Huh? It's hard to be racist when you don't remember shit. How Mitch McConnell was able to last in Kentucky with all the black magic that's in America. Like, you got to be, it's imagination. You think it's more powerful because of what happened, but you don't understand the concerted effort of who's holding you down. When you are not being held down by one person, but a drove of people. I said this and I'm going to say it again. Do you know how many people had to comply with for the black woman and the black man to be at the bottom of the barrel? That means everybody was in compliance. Not just white people, other black people. For sickness to reign in these Americas, black people had to be compliant to throwing away their medicine knowledge of herbs. And when half of the men, Majority of the medicine that is out there in the medical industry is derived from some form of plant. And they add chemicals to those plants. But you can bypass medicine and deal with the natural plants which work align with your body and heal your body or heal your mind. But you don't want to, because you think getting high is getting healed. I told you it's a mindset. You think getting high or numb is getting healed. And our black boy, why black women are out here saying niggas ain't shit. Our black men are being hung from trees in 2025. See, when you align yourself with the negativity and the harmful energy of your master, and it starts to affect other black women's children, because you refuse to walk in your own element. The problem with most black women and black American women is she's trying to compete with the white woman for the affection of the white man. She's trying not to be good enough for a black man. She's trying to be good enough for the white man. And I'm going to say this. Why would his fucking opinion even matter if you weren't trying to get his approval? If your nigga thought you the shit, why would it matter that another man thought your lips were too big, or your ass was too thick, or your pussy was too moist? Why would it matter? If black men, and this, you don't try to be with this one white woman in her Americas to the point you walk around here blonde hair and blue eyes and black like a motherfucker. And now your son, he wanted him a snow bunny. Cause why have the fake when you can have it? I told you, in order for me to help black people, we can't afford any more sugar-coated mentality. Most of y'all were raised with the mentality that white people are superior and that you have a docile mentality when it comes down to white people. I don't think white people are smart. I don't think white people are successful. They are professional thieves. They steal everything they got. You wouldn't talk about how unfair it is on the job if it wasn't for racism. UPS has been existing for over 100 years. And even in our black ass town, majority all of our management is white. It's like a plantation. So you want me to believe there's no black person capable of management position. And I know that ain't true because I done went to school with some of them. I know they ain't that smart. The level of opportunity that they're willing to give Caucasian men to keep them formidable. And you have the nerve to align their perceived success and with versus my actual success. For a black man, a black American man, to be this successful with the same type of racism and systemic racism, and I forge ahead because of my black magic. I don't make it no military figure. I'm going to tell y'all some of the other stuff that I take and digest. Because some of y'all don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to support truth. Instead of you investing with melanated people, and I'm good. Let me tell you something. I could not allow people to make me feel any type of way. When you get wet, you smell like a dog. When they say white people have nothing to be proud of, that's a real fact. But the reason why it looks like they have something that you want, because they stole it from you. I'm going to say this again because some of y'all a little slow. The reason why they have things that you believe that you want and should have, because they actually stole it from you. They want you to believe that you're jealous of them versus you want your shit back. See, a thief can't make me jealous when you walk around in my shit. You spending my money. You can't make me jealous. You can make me whoop your ass, but you can't make me jealous. Some of y'all have misguided emotions. Instead of you having the right mindset of this is a goddamn thief and a liar and a rapist. And let me tell y'all this, since I'm on the train. How do you let an Epstein file nominee, a 13 felony charge felon, let them give an executive order when it comes to the law? When I tell you, when I heard that shit, I said, I thank God for universal law. How you gonna be the driving force of law and order? And your life, you ain't never went by the law. When you had a Supreme Court order you didn't even adhere to. And you gonna be the one that lay down the law? Oh, y'all black people stupid. Long as they can't block me from getting to heaven and hell, because that's what Christians believe in. Let me tell you something. I got a prayer that I pray. And I ask God to give me authority and command over the spirits of heaven and the spirits of hell. Yeah. I have a Kabbalah prayer that I pray and I ask for access and influence over wicked spirits as well as just. I'm a necromancer. I want Metcalfu to know me personally. I want Baron Samzi to know me personally. Huh? I want Job to know me personally. I don't want them to hear my name through other spirits. I want them to be present in my initiation. I want them to be present when I conjure. I want to be on a first name basis with that which is light and dark. I want it to be said, Paul I know. Chief Apostle Eda I know. I want my name to be ringing in the ancestral realm. I want my name to be ringing in the land of the Orishas, the Loas, in Pungo, in the extraterrestrial dimension. I want my name. See, you worried about your name being remembered in all the wrong places. I'm going to say it again. See, white people know they don't rule the spirit world. That's why they have to make their heaven now. They're feeding Charlie Clerk with energy and chi, just like they fed those Confederates. That's why the statues meant so much to them. They understood the magic. See, black people think it's about statues. It's what those statues represent, the energy, the frequency and vibration. It's the image of those people and what they live for to be channeled by other parasites or Caucasian people. Just like you can feel energy from pictures of people, places, and things. Demetrius, different ones that seen certain things and they just saw the picture, but they can feel the energy. Pictures, images carry energy, frequency, and vibration. You don't have to be present. You can see a picture of it. You can see a monument. This is why we build a house of God. This is why we build certain images on earth that represent heaven. Because we understand that these images carry energy, frequency, and vibration. And this is why they try to damage the pyramids all over the earth. Because that represents us. How do you be envious or jealous of somebody always stealing your shit? Imagine you got a family member trying to outshine you, but they in your closet, getting your clothes, wearing your shoes, and trying to upstage you with your shit. Everybody here know what you would say to that family member. Why white people in the different? Why they riding around? I was seeing some of the stuff for what that man name? The South African white man, his ugly ass, Elon Musk, and one of his vehicles. And they showed that that style was taken from actually a garbage truck in another country. And he put his name on it, and some stupid ass people bought his shit. All because he Elon Musk. Because black people love labels. That's my nigga. Your dumb ass. Cayenne pepper, 3,000 milligrams. TikTok. You ain't got to be rich. You got to be wise. I've been taking this a minute. I've been taking cayenne pepper for a while, but this one has 3,000 milligrams per serving. And then I actually got garlic oil, but I take this. I got I had such a treat ordered me some. I ended up ordering myself some. I got mine for she got my other ones. But this is 7,500 milligrams. It's all about potency, people. Then I have this. This is 4,000 milligrams. It's all about potency. Love me some TikTok, beetroots, gummies. I told y'all about oil of oregano, 6,000 milligrams. I told you all about Manchester, blood purifier, remove all kind of viruses. All y'all like to fuck people in the ass and toss salads like a chef. I'm talking about myself, right here. You can live any kind of life you want to live and be clean. Stop letting them people tell you what you can get rid of. Anything in earth, Mother Nature can get rid of it. You got to have the right potency. And you got to be consistent about taking care of yourself. I'm 52 years old. I felt like a soldier. If I told y'all how I act in my sex life, you wouldn't even believe me. Because you think every man, no. I still have the stamina to participate in a full-on orgy. Now I'm be tired like a motherfucker when it's over. That ain't gonna lie, but my recuperation rate is quite high. When you take care of yourself, your body has what it needs to overcome anything. When your body don't have what it needs, then how can it function? And this is why I tell melanated people, if you cast down these imaginations, You got so much confidence in the ER, you got so much confidence in the doctor, and they don't have a track record of healing nobody. Their surgeries, they don't have high percentages. And no matter how much information I put out there on my social media platform, I'm always putting out information. I've been telling black people for the longest, you're used as guinea pigs, and black people still go and take, and you don't even research. That's what happened to me with prednisone. And I should have known some shit, because my doctor asked me, he said, how good is your insurance? I said, real good. That's when I got put on prednisone, and that's when I got put on Eliquis for blood thinner. I don't use a blood. My black seed oil is a blood thinner. Cayenne pepper is a blood thinner. What else is a natural? And I swear by Shulagy. Right here, Shulagy, 3,000 milligrams. Folic acid, 75%, and 85% of trace mineral. Fuck them people. Fuck them in their appointment. I got some stuff I'm ordering for my teeth. I'm gonna see how that works. If that work, I'm gonna come back on my social media platform. Black people, black Americans, it's right here. It's a go. I'm here for melanated people. I do real magic and I look for real results. I don't put bullshit out on my platform. I don't do it. I don't care if you gay, straight, rich, poor, educated, uneducated. If you black, I'm here for melanated people. I offer my services. I suggest my services. Those that got your egg on sticks, kudos. For those that have every intention of getting your egg on stick. For those that gonna be in my intermediate class and conjure, this is shit I'm be rocking. I don't have time to teach you watered down, sugar-coated truth about magic. I'm gonna give it to you how it was given to me, raw and real. What you do with it is your business. As a grown man and woman, you should want to redirect your reality. And a part of that is you're gonna have to cast those imaginations. You're gonna have to get rid of those images that keep telling you you have to. I tell people they think I'm being funny. I would not live. Let me tell you something. When I worked for UPS and I got a check every week, I've never lived within the confinements of my UPS check. If you think I'm living within the confinements of my pension checks, you have lost your ever-loving mind. Nothing determines how I'm going to live but me. I create the reality I desire to live in. I give many channels, many roads to my spirit to get me what I have need of. And I've been trying to teach melanated people this for years. You can be in the company of somebody that can set your body in another reality, and you get your healing. Some people call it quantum leaping or quantum jumping. I can take what Jesus called it, Yahshua called it, transfiguration. He went from one reality into another reality on the Mount Transfiguration. And when he was standing in that reality, the disciples said that Yahshua was talking to Moses and Elijah. That's just how simple that is. You can quantum jump or reality jump from one dimension into another and still be in your physical body. It's called a Merkaba. It's called a temple. A living organism, a living soul. You call it what you want. There's many names to this physical body. The Avatar, the Titan. They got so many names. Satan, or Saturn. That's what it's really saying. I told my day of power, I'm going to teach y'all something. Because I don't want you to say I didn't have an opportunity. Other spiritually cannot teach you this because they don't live it. Other spiritually can't give you information because they don't come from books. If you leave from one channel to the next and we all parroting the same thing, that means we all getting the information from the same source. But my information don't sound like the information. My knowledge extends beyond Google or AI. My insight extends beyond reading somebody else's version of the reality of magic. I teach lived experiences. Okay? I hope this helped you. I hope that black people start doing real magic and conjure when it comes down to this lynching, and allow people like me to come into your life and then utilize the dead against our enemies. If more white people don't wake up in the morning, then you have less fear. If you want to cut your life's expectancy off fooling with me, go ahead. That's all I'm doing. It's conjuring and manifesting. Getting prepared for the shit that coming down the pipe. Because they're going to try it. It ain't going to work, but they're going to try it. Because everybody is not asleep. Everybody is not sitting here bullshitting. They're not playing with their life and reality. And to leave your children in a world that you yourself can't even stand in. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to empower as many brothers and sisters that will allow me and that are getting their monies together and investing in our platform so I can do what I do best. It's conjuring. If I was, this is me being talking for, I'm only expressing me. But if that was my child, I would make everybody involved wish they had not killed my child. I bet you that. I guarantee that the ancestors of the people that killed my child will be saying, oh shit, we done grabbed the wrong nigga. Because if you kill my child, I'm not gonna go through you. I'm gonna go through your whole goddamn bloodline until I'm satisfied. Until I can say, exhale. When I can stop crying about not having mine, bitch, I'm on a warpath. I'm like a lion. Fuck the zebras, fuck the rhinoceros, fuck the alligators. When a lion's on a rampage, fuck all y'all. I'm after the motherfucker that came to my lair and killed my bitch or killed my cuz. I'm gonna fuck you up. I ain't gonna stop. That's my mentality. You ain't gotta have it. That's your business. But I'll be at that college campus, and I'll be in there scraping that tree, crying and everything, talking to my spirits of the earth, the soil. I be planting them motherfuckers. And I find me a neighborhood cemetery, and I'll go and bury the scrapping that I got from that tree in the cemetery, and I'll call their ass home. I'm the wrong one. Huh? Them motherfuckers be leaving out here left and right. Oh, it's haunted. My house is haunted. Bitch, no, it's not haunted. We possessing this motherfucker. That's what we doing. You don't try the wrong, you spill the wrong blood. I pray that my spirits protect my children. But I'm saying it. I'm telling you how my mentality is. I'll take every dime I can rake in straight. And I'll fuck these people up. I'll be out there spending Jamaican money. I'll be spending Australian money. Whoever give me some money. And they be like, I'll be fucking to kill you. I'll be out here selling my body and everything. Sure will. That's how determined I am. Fuck that. You ain't gonna hurt me and mine. And walk around and drive around and live your life like it's golden. Bitch, welcome to Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'm talking about this boulevard has a no end and no ending. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for giving me some of your time and some of your concern. I hope that many of you guys meet me in my classes and be a part of our particular platform. People aren't praying over and annoying their kids like they crazy. I don't know why you trust this system with your children. I don't understand it. I don't care. I don't even trust this system with my adult children. I don't trust this system with my nieces and my nephews. I know what this system is. And I don't care how good they doing and how much trouble they staying out of. I know this system will wait for the opportunity to fuck one of them little. And when they try that, I'm going to let their ass have it. I see y'all. Peace. Opera grease.